Welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. Ryan LaFay alongside Dennis Papadatos, the head coach of the Hofstra wrestling team. And Coach, just jumping right into it, Binghamton Open last weekend, just some of your opening thoughts on that tournament.
If you really look at it, it was more highs than lows, but the lows just always get me, so they bother me. But I really sat down, I looked at it, came back and looked at the brackets, and there was way more highs than lows. But obviously with Mike winning it, but at the end of the day, I knew he was going to win it. Like, I would have been devastated if he didn't. Like, it was, when I looked at it, I thought for sure he was going to win, and he pretty much dominated and won. But there was altogether about 3 or 4 losses on the whole day throughout the whole team that just really bothered me. But then I went back and counted, and there was about 10 wins that I was happy with. So and there was way more than 10 wins, but there was 10 wins where I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, that was a good match. That was one I wasn't sure, and we won it. I'm happy with that one. And then, like I said, so the 4 losses are just bothering me more than the 10 wins are making me happy. But I guess that's part of my job. But it was all in all a pretty good day, but could have been better.
It doesn't go down on the record. You guys are still 0-0. It's just a preseason tournament. But I mean, wins like that, especially for some of your older players or older wrestlers, I should say. I mean, does it give them more of a confidence boost now heading into the slate?
Yeah, that's why you do that. You also do it to see who the starter is. You know, some guys are young to kind of make sure. You know, we're getting matches in. They made weight once and competed. So, but that's why I personally like starting with an open tournament. I feel like that used to be an old school thing, and now people seem to be starting duels early. And I'm going to really try to make the every year that we start with an open, whether it be the Binghamton or something else. I like starting the middle of November, and I like starting with a tournament before we do any dual meets. Personally, it's my how I like scheduling the season.
Now let's talk about Jermaine John. He returns from injury last year. He's the only senior on your team. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's the leader of this squad, or do you think it's just such a young team that really anybody can emerge and really step up as that vocal presence on the team?
I mean, when we have 2 captains, Mike Hughes and Jelani Callender, so they're the leaders because they're the captains. One was picked by coaches, one was voted by them. But Jermaine's a senior. He's a local kid. He's friendly with everyone. He's had his trials and tribulations, and he actually put together a pretty good tournament. One of his losses I wasn't too happy with, but he looked good in one of his other losses. He looked good in his 2 wins. I was pretty happy with him. So, but he's, we're kind of a mixed melting pot. We're definitely way younger than older, and a lot of our younger guys are some of the guys that have kind of led the charge.
Now, Jelani Callender, 2 in that tournament against Binghamton, 7-2, won the first 7 matches. What about his performance in that tournament?
Yeah, well, actually, he won the first, lost the second, and then he won 6 in a row, and then lost his last. As I told him on the bus, I was really happy with 90% of his day, but 10%, to be honest, it was more like 95% of his day, and the other 5% of his matches cost him 2 matches. I personally don't think he should have lost either match he lost to. Like, it's not like he lost to an absolute hammer. Both kids were tough and competitive. One was a Lehigh kid and one was a Cortland kid. I wasn't too happy. Like I said, I wasn't too thrilled with it. But overall, he's a prime example. He's a snapshot of the whole team. The bad parts of his day are just overshadowing his good parts, but he had way more good parts than he did bad parts. So, I mean, he went 7-2. So, I don't want to say we'll take it, but it's better than if he went 1-2, and I would be furious. You know what I mean? So he's got work to do, but he's definitely showing signs that he can get it done.
And next up on the schedule is next Sunday, Northern Iowa, Lock Haven, and Michigan, 2 ranked teams in the nation. What are you looking for in practice this week, heading into the most challenging of matches so far, maybe of the season? Yeah,
it's going to be one of our roughest, points of the season, and we'll see. We may even be down some men. We'll find out. It's too early to tell, but hopefully not. Practice goes as normal. We train. These are the guys we train to beat. We beat Lock Haven by a point last year, and they're better. They're better this year than they were. And believe me, they want to avenge that loss. And Northern Iowa is ranked, and Michigan is arguably one of the teams that are in contention of actually winning the national title this year. So. We're going to come out and we're going to focus one match at a time. We got Northern Iowa first, then Lock Haven, and then we'll get to Michigan and see where we're at. But we don't change nothing. We're going to train, and we're going to compete, and we're going to win, and we're going to put forth our best effort. We're just looking to see on some of the weights who we're going to actually put out there, and hopefully we have all 10 guys ready to go. That's what I'm worried about right now. I'm not worried about who our opponents are. I worry about the things we can control, and then we'll go out there and we'll scrap.
And just talking about your team's fitness level too, some of the things you can control, are you satisfied with that so far? Do you think that it can improve as the season goes on, or really is now the time to grind and to get to that level?
Well, we grinded hard during preseason on purpose, and I was telling the guys, we started off really sluggish on the day, and I think as a whole, we didn't make weight right, because the way we looked, we just didn't look right. And then all of a sudden, when the day got a little later, our legs got underneath us, we went on a tear. So in the beginning, I'm like, there's no way we're out of shape. It's impossible. I see what we do. There's no way we're out of shape. You know what I mean? And why do we look so sluggish? And then it really dawned on me as a team, we didn't make weight very well. And it hurt us. And like I said, but when we got that out of our system, guys went on a tear. You know what I mean? Like it was right around when Jelani lost his first match, and Bobby and some other guys, then all of a sudden, as a team, we won like 20-something matches in a row. You know what I mean? And you saw the difference. Guys were going out there, grinding guys, getting the tough points, working, getting their hand raised and not even tired. And in the first match, everyone looked tired after the first minute. You were like, what is going on? So, no, right now it's a grind portion because we compete every week, and then we'll go back into a training phase. So the plan is to not get in better shape, because you can't get in better shape than preseason. The plan is to maintain our shape and just feel better. So you're in better shape just because your body feels better. But that's the idea at this point.
And finally, Coach, young team, a lot of freshmen on this team. What are some of the freshmen that you've seen substantial growth since the preseason these last couple of weeks?
You didn't have a chance to see Jake Kaminsky because he had to sit out this weekend, but he's been doing an unbelievable job. He's going to redshirt. Omar Haddad, who wrestled, is doing great. He has the right attitude. He has everything that we want I think he's anything that any Division I program would want on their team. It's just a home run of a kid, and he's a good athlete, and he can wrestle. And then the Burker twins, also had to sit out this weekend for different reasons, and they got the right mindset, and they're hungry. So it's nice to see. And then now we have some of the redshirt freshmen coming in. To be honest, our young guys are I don't want to say our foundation, but they're definitely. Our young guys all have an unbelievable mindset and the right mindset that we're looking for. So I'm happy with that for sure.
Said coach of the Hofstra wrestling team, Dennis Papadatos. Coach, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it. Go Pride.